You were a full-time housewife and you're struggling to live, aren't you?
What is it all of a sudden?
Your husband sends you a message, remember? Can't you reply a little lovingly? That's why you're still unemployed.
Ex-husband, it's been 5 years since the divorce. What kind of nerve do you have still thinking I'm unemployed?
You didn't have enough skills and you won't be able to work as hard as I did.
I worked before I got married.
A tourist information center is a simple job that anyone can do.
I feel sick by the way you're talking to me from above.
And then, your deep thoughts are that you got dumped by a good-looking guy like me. You are still in love with me, aren't you? I know what you're thinking.
I don't have any feelings for you at all.
That's not cute. I've just brought you a great deal.
I've got a bad feeling about this.
It's about money.
Is that about child support? I told you I don't want it, didn't I?
Don't be so stubborn. If you have financial problems, it'd be easier if you were honest about it.
You ditched Ken and me. I don't want to accept money from a scumbag who's with a cheating woman.
But now, you're in the middle of a very poor life, aren't you?
I'm not poor. That's it? That's just uncomfortable.
Wait a minute. I have good news for you. I'll remarry you.
Excuse me?
How can you live with no money and raise a child at the same time? You've been a single mother for 5 years. You know how hard it is.
I was wondering what you were gonna say.
So I decided to help you in a special way. How's that sound? Are you happy?
Not at all. I mean, what happened with the bitch? I thought you said you were gonna marry her.
Well, she was so bad, so I dumped her.
What? You were so proud that she was a better woman than me.
She was younger than you and a cute coworker. But when I was married to her, she couldn't do the housework and spent money roughly. She was done as a woman.
She was 13 years younger than me, right? She's still so young, so you should tolerate her a bit.
Women must be able to do housework. Age has nothing to do with it.
Well, I'm kind of starting to understand why you demand to remarry me.
Do you finally understand your role?
In other words, you want a submissive wife who will do all the housework and cooking in silence, am I right?
That's right.
You're a dick.
To be honest, you're ugly. And with a child, it's hopeless to remarry with another man, isn't it?
Don't worry, I have no intention of remarrying.
The truth is, you're frustrated because men aren't attracted to you, aren't you? Well, I'll remarry you.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I'll earn the money and you'll take care of the housework and raising the kid. With such good conditions, you're still gonna be tough?
You must think I'm some kind of free housekeeper or something. I'm not going to live with someone like you.
It ain't free. I'm going to feed you and the kid on my dime.
No, thank you. For the past 5 years, we have not had a single problem.
Don't be so tough on me. I can imagine you guys living in a shitty apartment and huddled together.
Don't get your imagination up. I'll be fine without you. Don't contact me again.
Hey, wait a minute.
My name is Iris. I'm 34 years old and a single mother. My 10-year-old son, Ken, is very kind to me. He has grown up to be a wonderful child. Although I am divorced, we were happy in the days of peace that we spent together. But we never expected to receive such a stupid call from my ex-husband. My ex-husband, Robin, is 7 years older than me, and we met 11 years ago. At the time, I was working at a tourist information center. He approached me, and that was the beginning. Not long after that, we started dating and got married. I felt his masculinity and his clear tone of voice at the time. But gradually, he began to blame me and our marriage gradually lost love. Then, Robin had an affair with a young coworker. I decided to separate by unilaterally filing divorce documents. But now, 5 years later, I was astonished at the sudden request to get back together with him. Naturally, I had no intention of remarrying, but Robin never gave up and took an outrageous action. I found a signed marriage document in the mailbox.
It's finally there. You should fill it out and submit it. How did you get my address? I asked around in your own neighborhood.
I can't believe you even did that.
The chatty old lady told me the name of the town you moved to. After that, I'd walk around and ask around in that town. Then, I found out where you were.
You're so desperate to remarry me, even though I said no.
Are you still talking like that? You should just calmly decide which is better for you.
There's no benefit to me in getting back together with you.
I don't care what you say. I'm getting ready to move out.
Moving? Where?
Your house.
My house?
Why are you living in a condo?
What?
Right when I finally found your house. You've been living a luxurious life without my awareness.
Living in a condo.
Is that your goal? You're getting support from my parents, right?
How could it be?
Don't play the fool. When my dad declared me disowned, he said he would support you to the best of his ability.
You think that's why I live in a condo?
Otherwise, it doesn't make sense at all.
You're so stupid.
You don't even work hard enough to afford the luxurious life. It's on other people's money. You're a sneaky bitch.
Don't get me wrong. I do work, and I do work well.
That's a lie. Cowards like you get money not only from my dad. You're also getting a mother and child allowance from the government, aren't you?
Don't speculate.
I mean, if you got a big gift from my dad, that makes it a dishonest receipt, doesn't it? And what about the taxes on the gift? Do you even know about that?
I know that much.
So, does that mean you know about it and are hiding it? You're a criminal.
Listen to me.
There are a lot of things you're wrong about. If you wanted to make excuses, you definitely know exactly what I'm talking about.
I'm telling you it's not true.
But if you remarry me, it'll solve the problems, right? If you get the money between a parent and a child as living expenses, no taxes. Good for you.
Give me a break. I don't want to remarry you.
Come on, just follow my lead. Why can't you see that it would make you happier?
I don't like what I don't like.
Oh, by the way, Ken is 10 years old now.
What is it all of a sudden? You've never been interested in the kid.
He's starting to look a lot like me, isn't he? He's got eyes just like mine. He's so handsome.
What are you talking about?
He's surrounded by girls. He totally looks like me.
Where are you now?
At Ken's elementary school.
Get away from Ken right now.
I'm his father. I can at least look at him from a distance.
What are you planning to do?
I know where my kid is. You know what that means. Even you can understand it, can't you?
What's that?
You better not piss me off any more than you already did. For the kid's sake.
Okay, I'll remarry. Just leave my kid alone.
You finally made up your mind. That's why you're my housekeeper.
How could you let this happen?
After all, you're the woman and can't live without me. Well, I'll be seeing you from now on. You've got to be kidding me to make me wait for 2 months.
We have our reasons.
Well, that's okay. From tomorrow, we'll be a husband and wife again. I went along with your selfishness. You'll have to serve me for that, okay?
I'm not remarrying you. I won't even live with you.
What the hell are you talking about? Don't be silly now. I've already packed my stuff.
I'm serious.
You bastard! You live in luxury on other people's money. You act all proud of yourself.
I'm telling you, I never took any money from your father. I don't even get maternity allowance.
Then how do you make a living if you're unemployed?
Of course I'm working.
I get it. You must have a night job. You've fallen as far as you've fallen, haven't you?
My job is a day job. Plus, I make 3 times as much as you do.
What?
I'm working with the skills I have now.
What kind of skills have you gained at a tourist information center?
I was in charge of guiding foreigners. I could speak English.
You? That doesn't sound like much English.
I scored over 900 on the TOEIC exam, so I'm pretty good at English.
Huh? What's that? What do you mean?
I was a foreign language major in college. I ain't heard that story. I thought I told you I could speak English. How could I remember something like that so long ago? So enough about the past. Now I work for a foreign company. You work for a place like that? Otherwise, there's no way I could live in a condo. That's ridiculous. It can't be. You were unemployed. I mean, sure, I had blanks, but now my current company doesn't care about that kind of thing. It's a good company that values results. Thanks to them, I'm making over $100K a year. That's really 3 times my annual income. I mean, your father told me. You've been in trouble since the divorce, haven't you? Did you call my parents? You said I was getting support from your father. I'm afraid you've been wrong the whole time. No, that's true. My dad said he would support you. Yes, he did ask me about it, but I turned it down. No way. He's offering to help you for free. What kind of nerve to reject such a great offer? I wanted to make Ken happy on my own. And I didn't want to bother your father and the others. That's a different story. You're just being selfish. You're the selfish one. You remarried your affair partner, but you didn't want to work the way you wanted to. I heard the police were involved because of your violence. It wasn't my fault. You even lost the divorce case and had to pay alimony. You didn't learn anything from it? Do you have any idea what I've been through? Even at work, rumors spread and people looked at me with a wide eye. I feel very ashamed. That's what you got. Shut up. If you won't remarry, I'll get another woman. Women are not your convenient tools. I'm telling you, I'm good looking. As long as I have a nice face, it doesn't matter. I'm really put off by you if you're serious about that. Mostly, Ken is just like me. He will grow up to be cool and popular with the girls. It's all thanks to me. Even when we were married, you didn't even take part in raising our kid. What the hell do I have to thank for you? I'm pretty sure the good-looking factor is in my genes. If he had looked like you, he would have been an ugly boy and your kid would have hated you for the rest of his life. Ken has a good personality because he can treat anybody without separation. That's why everyone likes him. You are the only one who thinks that. At the end of the day, it's all about looks. Looks are important. How about you, now that you don't even look good anymore? What are you talking about? I can't believe you've gotten so fat in just 5 years. You're sweating so much grease, and you're so filthy. On what basis? Your father showed me a recent photo of you. He showed me your look has been different now, so there's a chance I won't even notice you. I ain't really changed that much. I feel like you've gained at least 30 pounds by the looks of it, but I've only gained 20 pounds. That's more than enough. Even though I'm fat, I'm still good looking. There's nothing to change the fact that I'm still a handsome man. Female employees complain that you're too big, annoying, and stink. They complain about working with you. But you're still trying to act like you're good looking? Where did you hear about that? I heard from someone in your company. You went that far? Honestly, I was surprised that after 5 years you suddenly asked me to marry. Isn't it suspicious by any means? So, I used a detective agency to do a background check on you. That's too much. I interviewed people at your work. Everyone was telling me all kinds of stuff, like their frustrations were exploding. So, you're pretty much hated by everyone. Every one of them making fun of me. Until now, your sales performance has been okay because of your good looks. Now, they don't want you to look filthy and don't want you to come by a client. I hear they're begging you. No wonder they make fun of you. As a result, sales performance was also at the bottom of the list. No bonuses and your salary has been reduced recently, right? This month was just a little less by chance. Next month it'll be back to normal. You haven't done well in the last few years, not even this month. It's just a coincidence. Admit you're not good enough. The fact that you have been relying only on your appearance and your important internal parts have been in wrecks. Only now is it coming to light. You're cocky if I let you say it. When this happens, I'll go to Ken's school now. What are you still trying to do? You listened to me when I mentioned your kid. Come on, if you care about your kid, listen to me now. Too bad. Ken didn't go to school today.
You let him be absent, then I'll go to your house. I know where you live. I moved out of the house last month. What? Actually, I've been asked if I'd like to be transferred to the US branch for a while. You decided to go overseas without consulting me? It was actually further along in the process, but I talked to the company about you and they moved up the date. What were you thinking? You told me we were getting remarried. At the time, I had no chance but to agree to it. But with the company's help, I was able to get around it. I'm really grateful to the company. So what should I do? You're on your own. I've got an eviction order out on my apartment. What did you do? I don't think it's that easy to get an eviction order. I've never done any housework, so I don't know anything about cleaning or taking out the trash. I heard the neighbors complain about a strange smell. I see. It's just as I imagined. And with the alimony payments, I'm struggling to make a living. It's hard to pay the rent. You aren't telling me that you're behind on your rent because of that, are you? I haven't paid it for about 2 years. That's enough to get an eviction order. You told me to wait 2 months. I went to the management company and did something about it. This has nothing to do with me. Could you give me some money, please? Are you still sticking around? This summer's bonus was not good enough for my results. I can't really count on that. Even finding a place to live costs money. That doesn't mean you can rely on me. Think about it. For your beloved and precious Ken to be born in this world, you needed me too, right? Don't tell me you're trying to get money out of me for that. I'm his father. Ken is alive today because of me. Give me a money for the appreciation. You're not his father. Have you ever seen a copy of the family register? My name is in the father's column. I'm definitely Ken's generic father. Screw you. You don't even know Ken's birthday, blood type, or anything. There's nothing to be gained by knowing all that. To start with, Ken hates you. I haven't done anything to make him hate me. Don't tell me you're the one who blew a bad thing about me. I didn't even tell him why we got a divorce. Then why? When you approached him, I showed him a picture of you and explained to him that he shouldn't follow this man. He hated the person who abandoned his mom and him. He made it very clear that he didn't even want to follow you. What the hell is that? Now, Ken calls you suspicious. What's the fun in pushing me further? You deserve it. My parents disown me and my coworkers are getting promoted all over the place at work. I see. If I remarry you, I'll get the money from my dad and I'll be able to get by. And I thought I could be safe if you do the housework. Are you done talking about yourself? I don't have time to listen to you complaining. You don't have to say it like that. We were a married couple once, so is there any compassion for me? Not at all. Then you're on your own at best. Goodbye. After that, his parents contacted me about what happened to Robin after the talk with me. He was evicted from his apartment. Having trouble finding a place to live, Robin decided to live in a hostel. But because of this, he only showers once or twice a week. The level of filthiness has also risen considerably. As a result, the company wouldn't have him if he couldn't do his job and look like a mess. The company advised him to resign voluntarily, as if he was fired. He had to quit. He is currently living a life of almost homelessness. When I heard that he had fallen as far as he could fall, I felt truly refreshed. As for me, I am living happily with my son in the United States. I have been teaching English to my son for a long time. He made friends right away. He seems to be enjoying going to school. I think this time it was also due to my lack of discernment in looking at men. There's no point in regretting. So, from now on, I will only think about the happiness with my son. I will try to look forward.